Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
So,
sir.
okay. First of all, I welcome you all to the third year semester subject that you are going to attend. And it is really nice to see you in this year three becoming seniors of the campus, almost completing more than 50% of your degree curriculum. So now you all are in a kind of a final stage that you studying in your degree program. So, so most of the students who are in this classroom uh, learn from me during the first year. Two course in principles of economics and business economics course in. So, I know most of you are well aware about my teaching styles, the way we conduct the discussions, even though it is the very first session is online session. So, Shehan only with us today. You can say hi to Shehan. Only for today, most probably by next week, you will be physically available, physically coming for the lectures, hopefully for the upcoming sessions. So anyway, we will start the first session on corporate reporting. So I'm not going to waste time to introduce myself. So I work as an internal lecturer since there are some exemption students are there, those who have learned from me in the previous course series. All the information, the qualification and everything I have uploaded in the LMS page. So before starting the discussion about the theoretical aspects and the lesson contents in this course series, I would like to explain to you very clearly about the setting of this course series and the importance of this course series, and very importantly, the issues faced by the undergraduate students when attending this course series with the time being, by looking by being in the result codes, by analyzing the degree completion rates, when engaging in the education administrative works. So we have found that this subject, corporate reporting subject, which is a core subject in your curriculum, is becoming somewhat determinant subject for your degree completion as well as for your future career. Therefore, compared with the other course unit that you learn, so this course unit is under your main domain, right? Since you are following BSc Applied Accounting program. So in such the program, this corporate reporting, as a course unit called corporate reporting, is playing a vital role because the things you are learning are very much applicable for your professional life, professional career that you are going to have in your future. So therefore, there are two aspects of learning this type of subjects. One thing, ultimately to pass this examination and to get the degree. And the second one, when you are working as finance professionals, accounting professionals, maybe accountants, finance managers, maybe CEOs in future, after completing maybe chartered accountancy, you are in the finance, you are a finance professional. Therefore, you are going to deal with these financial matters with the rest of your life. So you have selected that career path already. So since you are going to deal with those things in your day-to-day life, in the rest of your life, in your work life. So these things you will be learning will be repeatedly useful. For you when you are working as finance professional. So therefore, by learning this type of course units, there are significant importance. One is to complete the course unit, and the other one is to perform well in your professional life. Right. So therefore, having said that, so I would like to move to the main LMS page, your course unit page that I have designed to explain you what are the assessments, what are the content that we are that we are going to cover, and the academic plan, session plan for this course unit. So as you well aware, is mentioned in your timetable and the lecture commencement documents also. This course unit will be delivered as a combined lecture with the participation of two lecturers from the internal faculty from the Department of Accounting and Management, Campus Sri Lanka. I will be taking 5 sessions from your entire 15 sessions, time to time, not continuously. So I will explain you the plan for that sessions, and also we have a good lecturer who is doing this course in around many years. For many years in September, Sri Lanka, Mr. Chiraka Pereira. So he will be introducing you about himself when he is taking the lectures. So anyway, at the very first day, I want to tell you, this will be conducted as a combined lecture with the participation of myself as an internal lecturer, as well as Mr. Chiraka Pereira as the lecturer, senior lecturer from the visiting faculty. Right. So, so that is how the setting was aligned for this course unit. So, at the very first day, so I would like to, I hope of starting this lecture, making you aware about the depth of this subject and giving you some introduction information about practical issues, basically practical issues students are facing when following these course units. So time to time, whoever the lecturer that is conducted, that this course unit is conducted, time to time, the students are visiting us, telling different issues. Actually, those issues are related to themselves attending this course unit. So I will be explaining them in detail in this session as well. So then, therefore, overcoming these issues, helping you all to successfully complete this course unit, we think of doing this lecture as a combined session. So, as two lecturers, we will be trying to giving you maximum effort for you to success in this course unit. And I think you will gain those expected benefits effectively following the clear instructions provided by us. Right. So, saying that, I would like to share you the LMS page. So, I would like to request you all also to log into your LMS page in your devices, maybe whatever the devices you are using. So, this is kind of a systematic learning that we are going to have. Right, so it is very complex subject. So this systematic teaching and systematic learning is very much important. So if you are not aligned with the systematic teaching and the learning process, it will be very hard for you to successfully complete this course day. So therefore, I don't want to make you afraid at the very first day. So what I want to do is I want to clear these things very first day as I do usually. These are outcomes from both lecturers. So I would like to explain them in relation to that. So therefore, I would like to request you to log into the LMS page. So by now, all the information relevant to the session allocations have been uploaded to the LMS page, and also today's sessions, exam materials, and more importantly, case study questions also uploaded, right? So I will explain one by one with the time being. So let me share you the LMS page. You can see the general information is there. We'll start with the course content, right? So this is the detailed course content. You can you prefer detailed course outline to know about the detailed content of this questioning. But this is kind of a summary that I have uploaded. This is also taken from the detailed course outline. This is about the summary of the content that is included in this course units and the weightages, the marks weightage of your end semester examination. So you can see this course unit completely. We can divide under three topics. Starting with the first one, interpretation and application of Sri Lanka accounting standards. So here you are going to learn. I know so far you have learned some of accounting standards, which are main guidelines for finance and accounting professionals. Basically, the accounting professionals. This is the main guidelines for them to practice accounting in entities, maybe public limited companies or private limited companies or government corporations, whatever the corporate that you are practicing accounting, these are the standards that you have to prefer in doing these accounting practices in the corporate world. So, considering these accounting standards, mainly when we go through your course outline, there are around 10 main accounting standards. 10 main accounting standards in your course unit at the scope of your course unit. And weightage, you can see the 55% of your semester paper will be given for your course for this evaluation of your knowledge on different standards. So, about explaining you the way this knowledge is tested in your end semester examination, most of the time, almost most of the time, you are having short cases, right? In all case studies, short case studies, and long case studies. Basically, the short case studies to test your knowledge relevant to standards. So you are given with the accounting issue faced by your organization as a mini case that you have to apply relevant standards into that case, and you have to do the reporting part, disclosures, and all the other requirements that you learn under accounting standards. So that is the way these accounting standards will be tested. This is not the way not the usual way the accounting standards are tested. For example, when you practicing accounting in the basic levels, maybe advanced level, maybe first year, second year. So this is just in evaluating the accounting practices, it is just a adjustment to the financial statements, maybe a company account. So you have to do a simple adjustment. So this is little bit different. In this case, it is little bit different. So you will be given a specific issue, specific scenario-based question to apply relevant accounting standards by selecting what accounting standard should be applicable as finance professionals in solving this issue. What accounting standard should be applicable to solving this issue, so that you have to pick accurately, and you have to do relevant accounting treatments in resolving matters, issues relevant to that case. So that is what the expectation. So this most of marks from these 55 marks will be tested in that way. So it's better to we will be discussing different cases in the classroom also. It's better to find more and more cases, maybe from the CA, Chartered Accountants corporate level past papers, maybe most of the time ACCA past papers. So all these past papers includes this type of problems, short cases and long cases, that is included in those papers, in those different professional programs, as well as academic programs in other universities. So you can find those type. We are doing some case studies in the classroom as well. It's better in preparation for this 55 marks. It's better to have such type of a setting to have a better understanding about each accounting standard. So therefore, this is how that area will be tested. So basically, you will be provided with short scenarios and long scenarios based on the situation, based on the accounting standards. There are accounting standards which the scope of these accounting standards is very vast, right? So if you consider these standards like standard for lease, right? So when considering the scope, it is vast. So, but considering some other standards, so there are standards which has limited scope. So accordingly, based on the standard, so your case study also may be changing. The questions also will be tested accordingly, right? So therefore, you have to prepare in that way, right? So then second part, preparation and presentation of consolidated financial statements. So this is basically this is what we call corporate report. So far you have learned accounting for private limited companies, sole proprietorships, partnerships. Now all for considering the accounting for all these entities, you all are clever in that. But here it is a serious matter. Now we are trying to practice accounting for public limited companies. So public limited companies are not very are very formal type of businesses that has different regulatory requirements. Because these companies, businesses are listed in the Colombo Stock Exchange. So in the introductory session, I will explain you why preparation of these corporate reports are complex compared with the other financial reporting that you have already practiced. So I will be explaining some points why this is getting complicated. Under these reasons, one main aspect relevant to the reason, one of the main reasons for these corporate financial statements to become more complicated is this business applications to the consolidated financial statements. So there are different forms of businesses. Some group of companies, then subsidiaries, parent companies. These type of structural complexities are there considering the public limited company. So therefore, this is also a kind of aspect that financial reporting makes more and more complex than the other reporting, accounting that you learned so far, right? For that purpose, for that content, the 25 marks of your entire course will have been allocated. And finally, as the third point, analyze interpretation and communication of financial results. So you will be allocated 20 marks. This is maybe ratio analysis, maybe industry analysis, different analysis that we are going to practice. Even though you are able to record all these transactions, record these whole complex issues that faced by the organizations, private, public, limited companies. If you are not able to do kind of an interpretation by looking at these financial statements, that also a very important concern. So after preparing, by reading a financial statement as an ultimate stakeholder of the business, of the corporate world, you would be well aware of interpreting these financial statements. And basically, these interpretations are entirely for your decision making, right? How these different decisions can be taken by analyzing those results, final results included in the financial statements. So that area, 20 marks will be tested. So accordingly, you can see the 100 marks of the final examination paper is covered in that way. You can see the more weightage given for the test of your knowledge relevant to financial, relevant to accounting standards, right? So there are, if you can see this, we come to the accounting standards later. So these are the three main areas that will be tested into an semester examination. Hope that is clear for you, right? So therefore, you can't skip, right? You cannot skip any part of this content. So that means you are not able to successfully complete this course, right? So that is one thing I experienced. Most of the times, students are getting ready to attend only this consolidated. I don't know, different time to time it is changing from student to students. So they are trying to omit different parts of the course and trying to get the marks by focusing on one particular area. So what happens in the examination, during the examination time at the final examination, so all your plans are gone. So whatever the question that you plan to attend is in a situation where you cannot attend. So in that time, so you will be facing a big difficulty. So therefore, there is no short and fast pace, right? You have 15 weeks from today, maybe more than 15 weeks in preparation for the examination. So utilize these 15 weeks from today onwards. To cover up all these parts in your syllabus that is included in your syllabus. If you are required to omit these different parts, there is no need of including these things to the syllabus. So therefore, you can't decide which parts I should omit when conducting a study, and I will do the consolidated accounts and only the analyzed interpretation part. I will keep standards away. Then I can get 45 marks. I will score 45 marks. Then you will be considered as past students. Those are the imaginations that you have at the very beginning. So that's what I wanted to break all these imaginations, because those imaginations are not going to work in your examination. Therefore, since this is the very first day, from the very first day, have a good aim, right, to cover up all these, the entire content. I know you can't take some of the times you can't take 100 out of 100, but when only you get ready for 100 marks, when only you are ready to attempt for 100 marks, you can only successfully get 75 marks in the examination. So at the very first, from the very first day, if you are planning to attempt only 55 marks, imagine the actual marks you are getting. Right? You are getting ready for minimum 40 marks, but during the examination, only you are getting 25. Unfortunately, it is a waste of your time. Right? So by utilizing these 15 weeks, if you attend all these questions in all these areas in the weekly basis, it's very easy since it is an academic program to go through these courses. So this is, even though this is somewhat almost equal to the corporate reporting in the chartered accountancy corporate level, content-wise, I have checked. Content-wise, considering the new syllabus as well as the old syllabus, these contents are 100% aligning with the corporate level of chartered accountancy professional examination as well. So therefore, these things I am providing, I am informing you, and I have done that analysis to make you aware the depth of this subject. So saying that, I want to tell, since this is an academic program, so almost everyone, lecturers and the other administrative parties, the management, basic intention, main objective is to pass you this subject. successfully make you complete this subject. So there is no any restrictions on basically I would not say that word. So this is all these are our efforts to make you pass this exam successfully. So it is not just taking 40 marks by getting a good grade, right? So therefore, keep that in your mind to cover up all these concepts. 1, 2, 3, all 3 topics need to be covered up within these 15 weeks. When you learning also, you have to cover up all these content, right? So some of the students are not joining for the lectures during the first 3 weeks, and they are joining the lectures in the middle. So most of these standards have been discussed. So then after that, you can't study by your own. So it is like limited time constraints. You also busy. We know that. So most of you are following different trainings now. So if you cannot utilize the allocated time for a course unit, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours that is allocated. So you can't successfully complete this course. So therefore, keep that in your mind at the very first stage, right? So then, having said that, I will share you the session plan. Right, this is the by analyzing your course outline. So these lessons have been included to this table. So and the sessions, the expected session, this can be changed due to different reasons, but this is a rough understanding that you can have by looking at the marks allocations and everything. I have aligned, we have aligned this mark allocation with the with this, right? So with this main weightage that is provided in the course outline, right? So there will be minor changes, but almost these mark allocations in the end semester paper will be aligned with them. So basically, I will explain you what are the content that I am going to discuss with you. As I said you, I will be taking 5 sessions, not consistently, time to time. So today, by looking at this session plan, you can see. So today, first session I have started. I will start providing you a basic introduction to this course training. Rather than directly going for the accounting standard, even though in your course outline there are no introductory part that we need to cover. So what we have to do is directly go for the standards. But understanding the situation of the students, I know even though you practice accounting, you learned it, accounting many times, you are sitting here as students who are learning this subject at first time. And I know the mentality of these students. So therefore, we have decided to take a kind of introductory approach, giving some background information. What we are trying to do in this course unit, explaining your destination, where you are going to end up with at the end of these 15 weeks. So accordingly, I will be taking first week and hopefully in the second week as well. So within these 2 weeks, I will be covering the introductory part and one main accounting standard, SLFRS 30. It is fair value measurement. It is an important measurement that we prefer in many other accounting standards. So this fair value measurement is not just a standard that we are going to test isolatedly. So time to time, inside different accounting standards, these fair value measurements are included, right? So if you consider LKS 16, PPE, property, plant and equipment, so we are identifying fair value measurements when we are identifying impairment of assets, right? When we I will explain you that by taking example as, right? So then considering the business combinations, standard for business combinations, these consolidations and everything. So when they consolidate these financial statements, so they are measuring the fair value of net assets of the business. So then when measuring the net asset of business under a different standard, under different standards, we are going to apply this measure. So therefore, this standard is not just an isolated standard. It has many links with the other standards. So today we are discussing the basics of these measurements, and that's why I have included into the introductory session, because maybe during the second standard that you are learning and the other standards you are learning, time to time this fair value word comes. Right? Fair value word comes. Fair value of the asset. Fair value of liabilities. That is repeatedly coming. So then when it is coming repeatedly, so you are well aware what this fair value is, how these measurements can be conducted. If you are supposed to conduct this fair value measurement, after learning this, you are well aware how to do that. So therefore, this standard has many links. So therefore, I decided to start with this standard with you. So that is SLFR S13. So I will be covering this most probably first week and the second week, right? So then after that, the other lecturer will be taking up the sessions. So he will be covering the lesson contents accordingly. Then again, so according to my plan, so maybe in the 6th week, I will be joining with you to discuss another accounting standard, which is kind of a very specific accounting standard that we report for biological assets, right? Accounting for biological assets and the treatments, accounting treatments for biological assets, LKS 41. So we'll be discussing in most probably in the 6th week. So these weeks can be changed, but anyway, this is the tentative plan. But I'm trying to stick into this session, otherwise we are in a very strict time schedule. So then another standard I will be discussing with you. So accounting for government grants and disclosures of government assistance. This is also specific requirement standard. So this is addressing about the government grants that is getting by the corporate businesses. So time to time, governments are providing different grants for the corporate business. So how you can deal with these corporate grants will be discussed under case 20 accounting standards. So then finally, covering the accounting ratios with non-financial information, that is the third part of this main course. To see the summary, you can see there are 3 parts. So this analyzing, interpretation and communication of financial results allocated 20 marks. So that also I will be discussing, aligning that marks with here, participation and presentation, preparation and presentation of, that one. That is this one. The accounting ratios with non-financial information allocated 20 marks. So in that one also weightage 20 marks, here also 20, weightage is 20 marks. So accordingly, I will be including questions. Covering 40 marks. For your end semester examination. So this is a very determinant mark, right? 40 marks is now roaming around in your head, I know. From the very first semester, this 40 marks is becoming a determinant mark. Why it is determinant? They have read it. Why it is determinant? 40 marks is that? Good. They have not voted in mind. The class will try to but 40 marks is the minimum pass mark, right? To go through any subject in this degree guide. Most of the subjects, almost every subject you have to take 40 marks. The minimum pass. So therefore, this is very determinant, right? So therefore, this marks allocation also very determinant, and this course content also very determinant. This is a good chance for you to pass this examination. So after passing this, going for A plus and everything, it's your dedication and it's your commitment. So my responsibility in this course is to make sure that everyone in this classroom will be taking this 40 marks. That is my responsibility in regard to this course. So therefore understand that, therefore actively participate that. That's why I included my sessions spread within these 15 weeks. Right? Otherwise I can do personal 5 sessions and hand over it to the other lecturer. Why I have included in time to time, first 2 weeks, then after 6 weeks, after then 15 weeks and 14 weeks, I wanted to revise these things again and again and make you in touch with this course and I want to push you towards the completion of this course. That's what my responsibility under this course. So therefore, as students who have conducted successfully completed relevant courses with me from the very early stage, I hope you will provide me your 100% contribution and dedication in achieving this objective. So this is one of the main objectives for me to involve in this course. So therefore, make sure have an objective, have an aim to get this entire 40 marks for this end semester examination. So then you are a pass student. After taking 40 marks, then I'm not telling you to don't misunderstand. I'm not telling you to learn only this course and come to the end semester examination. So if you planning to do it, you will be in a big trouble, right? Big trouble in the end semester examination. So I'm just trying to tell you about the importance of this determinant mark 40. Therefore, make sure that you are trying to have an objective to achieve total 40 marks during the semester examination, making me happy that you all have successfully completed this course, right? So then that is my role relevant to this course, and there is my plan in conducting sessions. So I hope it is clear for you. If you have any clarifications relevant to this, you can ask within this introductory course, introductory session, right? So then I hope this is clear for you. Then accordingly, I will be covering you 1, 2, 3, 3 standards. Only 3 standards I will be covering with you. How many marks for these 3 standards? 7 plus 7 it is 14 plus 6, only 20 marks. Only 20 marks, right? And accounting ratios it is gain 20 marks. So there are 40 marks that you can give. So then considering the assessment instructions, so I have a plan for that as well. So I have submitted it discussing to discuss with you. There are considering the assessment plan, I will be providing you the continuous assessment guidelines today. So when the other lecturer joins for the sessions, so he also will be explaining continuous assessments that he is going to conduct. So other than that, I have designed some continuous assessments for this session as well. So I want to give the instruction for that as well, right? Since it is the very first day. So this is my plan. So this is the plan for continuous assessments. So I will be handling these 3 continuous assessments, right? This marks variation may be changing. So classroom mainly there are 3 CA components here. 3 main continuous assessment components. One is mind maps. The second one is online quiz, and the final one is presentation. So the evaluations, maybe we will be doing this evaluation of these different continuous assessments. Maybe we will be doing it. Both of the lecturers will be doing these evaluations. So you will decide it and do the evaluation accordingly. So to explain you about the continuous assessments. Continuous assessment 1, it is about mind maps. So instructions and information provided, you can read. The students need to design 10 mind maps for the standards mentioned in the session plan and need to submit to the created submission link maximum of 1 week after the each discussions of accounting standard. So refer the sample mind map. So I have already uploaded the sample mind map also. There may be problems for the students, but this mind map is. I have actually that was designed by me, a simple mind map, so that I have uploaded from the SLFRS 30, right? So you can refer it later. Don't open it now. Later you can open it. So let me explain you what are the instructions, what is the main thing you need to do. So as I said you, throughout this course, myself and the other lecturer will be doing accounting standards, right? Altogether, there are 10 accounting standards. If you go through your course outline, you can see clear instructions given to cover up 10 accounting standards. So I will be covering up 3. Remaining part will be covering up by the other lecturer throughout this 15 weeks. So what you have to do, so after learning the accounting standards, so you have to develop the mind map for each accounting standard. So you don't need to do it before you learn, right? What you have to do, you have to come for the lectures. For example, if it is LKS 14 today, right? LKS 13, sorry, LKS 13 today, SLFR is 13 today. So you are learning SLFR is 13 with me. So after the day you complete, after the day we complete the discussions, maybe next week, right? Maybe by the next week we will be completing SLFR is 13 discussion. So then from that date, you have 1 week, right? You have 1 week. You have to draw a mind map by your own, by referring the lecture materials, by referring the recordings, maybe by referring to any other things, right? More mainly, your main reference book is accounting standard book. I will show it to you as well. So then, referring those things, you can make a nice mind map. Just to show you, I can open it here. Can we open it here? This is type of a mind map that you draw relevant to accounting standard. This is about SLFR 30. So everything relevant to SLFR 30 is included here. This is a kind of a sample mind map that you need to develop by your own. Right now, you don't repeat the same thing and upload. Right? Even though you want to do it, you can do it at once. Only one time you can do it. Good. This is the example. Right? So anyway, since it is first time, it's okay. If you can copy it, you do it, but in a different way, you can present. So this is the example mind map. So you can develop in that way. So if you can use more, let's say more softwares or any other tools, maybe any other tools, you can do this very nicely than this. This is a handwritten one. If you are well, if you are expert in the use of other ways of doing this, you can practice that also. But that should not be another presentation slide share. That should not understand that, right? That should not be another presentation slide share. This is not a presentation slide share. This is a summary. This is a mind map. By looking at this page, everything relevant to the accounting standard SLFR is 13, you can learn, right? How to measure, where to measure, what to measure, what fair value is, when to recognize the values. Likewise, everything is included. Right? Everything is included. When the standard is getting bigger and bigger, you can go for another page. That's not the issue, right? But this is the expectation. This is the expectation. This continuous assessment. So rather than getting marks, right? So this will, if you do this effectively. By doing this, I am pretty much sure this will be very useful for you when you are studying for this subject. So because when you are considering this standard book, right? Your reference book, you can see the book. These are the 2 books. Your reference book, I think you can see it from the screen. And these are the 2 books I am referring. See, this includes how many pages? 1069 pages. This includes 1069 pages. This is volume 1, right? Sri Lanka Accounting Standards 2025. All the standards that you are going to learn here it is there. So this standard, SLFRS 13 is included in the page number 747, right? 747. From SLFRS 1 to 17, it is included in the volume 1. From LKS 1 to 41, it is included in the volume 2. So you can see this type of a big 2 different books are there, right? If you can summarize, right? If you can summarize these two books into 20 or 25 mind maps, so it's very easy for you, right? Other than reading, right? So reading these things also very hard. So what we do as lecturers, we will read this, we will refer this on behalf of you, and we are trying to simplify it. We are trying to simplify it. That's what I have done, right? By reading this, referring this reference book. So I have summarized into a nice presentation slide where you can easily understand. Rather than repeating everything it is included in the standard. And another thing, it's better to have these 2 books as finance professionals, right? Accounting professionals, future accounting professionals, future chartered accountants. So this will not be a waste buying these 2 books. These 2 books are available at Sri Lanka. Maybe, I don't know, I didn't check whether the soft copy version also available or not. You can check it. You can buy these 2 books as well, right? I had one during my when I am following the degree program in Colombo University. I had a version of this. Now this has already updated, so therefore I bought this new version. This is the latest submission applicable for financial periods beginning on or after 1st January 2025. This is the latest version of accounting standards, right? So you also can buy. It is available in your basically your degree operating authority, CA Lanka. It is available. It's not a very huge value, right? It's a very low value, right? It's not a bearable value considering the expenses. As students, I know the expenses you are having, right? If you see the mobile phone you are using, right? You can buy 1,000 of these books, right? I'm pretty much sure you can buy 100 or more than 1,000, right? 100 or more than 100 of these books you can buy, right? So then now you look at your mobile phone that you are using and divide it by 100, right? So that will be the value of these books. I am not going to market this book, but anyways, it's a very important reference book for you as finance professionals. This is the handbook, right? This is the handbook of accountants. You can buy it, and I highly recommend you to refer this. After listening to this simple discussion, standards that you are that we simplified by the lecturers. Thereafter, if you can read these, if you can refer these accounting standard books, then I'm pretty much sure you will be understand the standard very well, right? You will be understand the standard very well, and you would be able to summarize these things by your own. It is required. Therefore, please do these things. I'm giving you these instructions to make you success relevant to this course. Right. This is the mind map. Okay. So then you are getting only 1 week. You are getting only 1 week. Why I am setting that timeline? Because I know as students you will starting to otherwise if such deadline is not there, what you are trying to do, right? Maybe in the 13th or 14th week you will be copying some mind map from the other, and you are trying to submit all these mind map and at the 13th, right? Sometimes you will not be even, you are not referring to the lecture materials. I told you to refer the standard book, but at least you are not referring to lecture material. That is not the expectation. This is not to make you stress, right? So this is to help you in understanding these things. So weekly basis, allocate some time around 1 hour, half an hour for per day, and do this and submit accordingly. So not only that, you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded with how many marks? You will be rewarded with 30 marks, right? So this is direct marks. Direct marks you are getting, but there are hidden marks also. What are the hidden marks? What are the indirect marks you are getting? After doing this, you will be your understanding level of understanding of the standard will increase the marks of your N7 examination. Right? Therefore, this is the kind of activity that has two objectives. First, to reward you with 30 marks, reward you with 30 marks, and the second one is to reward you with some indirect marks in the final examination. So 30 marks, right? 30 marks is there for 20%, right? So I'm not going to check the accuracy of this mind map that much, but try to develop mind maps very accurately. Double check it with your friends, right? Whether things that you have included in the mind map it is correct, because otherwise you will be referring a wrong document. Right? Therefore, double check it with the standard book. That's why I told you to prefer the standard book. Buy the standard book, maybe soft copy or physical copy, hard copy, that you can again and again check. Right? If someone says this is wrong, you can refer the standard book and tell. This is the page, this is the paragraph. In standard book, there are paragraphs. I will be explaining you. I have provided the reference in my lecture slides also. In which paragraph these things that I am including will, are included in the course page. For example, let's say this one. In the fair value one, right? In the telephonic 15, there are different paragraphs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise there. So paragraph 5 says about the scope 4. So in my lecture slides, I have provided the reference. So then if you can turn the pages to SLFR is 30. So you can see the reference, it is paragraph 5. So paragraph 5 is here, right? There are number in the paragraph. You can see the paragraph and read. You don't need to read everything, right? These references are very important. So in my exercise, I have provided you the reference. And if you if you're not sure about what I am telling in the lecture site, or if you are not sure with someone, maybe your friends, when you are checking mind map, there is a problem. Then you wanted to check it. So then go to my lecture slides, refer the reference where it is mentioned, go to the book, see whether it is what the correct one. So you can confirm me that it's very easy. When not like any other subjects, very clear instruction is provided in this. And so in that way, I hope you will, everyone in this class will be scoring this 30 marks. What you have to do in getting this 30 marks, that is a simple thing. You have to submit this mind map on time. That's it. Right. So submission links also I will be creating time to time. Right, time to time, because the submission dates, completion dates are changing. So already I have set the submission link for the SLFR is 30. Right, date is given. So you have to submit. Right, likewise, I will be setting submission for mind map. Right. So then after the submission date, these things will be getting disappear from your LMS page, right? Disappearing 3 marks from your 20%. Right? So when you are going to upload, this link is disappeared means out of these 30 marks, 3 marks have been disappeared, right? Understand? And therefore complete it. If you can submit it, if you submit it, it means you have achieved 3 marks from this 30 marks. I submit that. So then the second part, it is online quiz, the normal quiz that we are doing. So this time we are having a different setting. So during the 9th week, most of the time during the 9th week, we will be having this online quiz. In the classroom, I will be giving you a 1 attempt. I will be giving you a 1 attempt as closed book examination. What you have to do, I will ninth session, I will be not doing the lecture, but anyway, I will be visiting the lecture for maybe 30 minutes. So then I will do the online quiz as a in-class closed book examination. This is my plan, our plan. So we'll be doing it. So then you are taking the first attempt, and as a closed book examination, I will be giving you to repeat the same attempt in a flexible time as an open book examination. Then again, you can do it by your own. Maybe I will be giving you 2-3 days. You have to do it by your own. Open book. You can refer standard book, exam material, everything. Then you can correct yourself. Right? Then that will be the second attempt, the same online. So then I will be taking the average mark of this. Right? So then you will be getting 30 marks for that. This may be changing, right? This may be changing, but this mark is not changing. Right? When it is changing, I will mention it here. Don't worry. But for now, this is the setting. Right? One is in-class closed book attempt. You have to do it by your own without referring any documentations or anything by your knowledge. You have to study and do. Thereafter, second attempt it is an open attempt. You can do it in a flexible time, in a allocated time period. So the average marks of these two will be taken as your final mark, maybe 20, maybe 30 marks. Then finally, the presentation, right? Then you will be having a presentation. I will provide relevant guidelines, discussing with the other lecturer also. With the time we will see what will happen, what is the setting of the last practical assessment is presented. Whether we need to include report or whether we need not to include report. Likewise, we will consider it, whether it is recording or a physical one. Right? So the thing is, considering this question, we have very limited time, only 15 minutes. We have to do consolidation, then we have to take standard, we have to do ratio analysis, everything. We have 15 minutes. Therefore, it's very strict. It is a very tight schedule. Right? Therefore, attending the lectures on time also matters. Right? Today you have only joined by 12:30. Right? By 12, I asked from Shehan. I came to this class by 11:50, right? 11:55. Only that person is there, only 3 or 4 people in the lecture. Right? So since you are in a tight schedule, at least even though you are not now you are not physically available, you are in the at your places, right? Enjoying your life. Right? So then why can't you join for the lecture on time? You are joining to the lecture on time by 12:50. Then again at the end you are complaining. These things are very complicated, very hard paper. Likewise. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. So you have to at least come to the lecture on time. And make that error corrected, you will be getting another 5 marks for your exam. පටන් ගන්න දැන මෙලෝදියක් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. And in the middle you are joining. Then you can't understand anything. And therefore, keep these disciplines, or else lecturers will discipline you, right? So, allocation of marks is 40. This may be weighted, may be changing. Altogether, you are getting 40 marks. Right? Okay, that is about the setting of this course. That is about the setting of this course. So I discuss with you the session plan, what we are going to cover, mainly the main parts that you will be tested during the semester examination and their weightages. And the way we conduct these sessions, right? The nature of the combined lectures, and also about the continuous assessments you are going to have within these 15 weeks. I think everything is clear for you, right? So far, if you have any clarifications, relevant to those things, I would like to give you 2-3 minutes or any other clarifications relevant to the things that we discussed so far. And one more thing, another, right? One more thing I want to tell you, right? Since this is an online lecture, right? In this lecture, you can't sleep and listen to the lecture, right? You can't do your own work and listen to the lecture. Meanwhile, you are doing office work or any other, right? Or during this online, even though I don't know whether this is final week or not, that's not relevant. Considering this lecture sessions, you do have to be ready with all the required things with you, maybe pens, pencils, and everything with you. Time to time, I will be giving you different activities. Time to time, I will be giving you different activities. Those are very minor activities. Maybe taking a picture of a small diagram. Maybe uh, maybe explanation that you have, maybe a note that I have given you. Right? Then I am telling you to upload this to the link within a limited time period. You can see here link is there, classroom activity submission link with the date. Right? So then time to time you have to do these activities and upload. When doing the discussion, I will be telling you, okay, I have drawn now river diagram, take a picture of this and upload it to this link. I will be giving you 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes. You have to go and upload. Likewise, there are some activities will be conducted during the lecture. That's why I told you, you can't just listen to this lecture. Just listen to this lecture, doing your own work. And also concerning the lecture material. So I would like to share this also. So the lecture material that I have uploaded to the LMS is having blanks. Right? Is having blanks. If you see the definition, pair value definition, you can see there are blanks in the lecture material. Right? So by just listening to the lecture, these blanks will not be filled. Right? So you have to fill the blanks during the lecture. Right? The things that the lecture material that I am sharing during the lecture will be a complete lecture material. So I will be giving you some time to note down these things. Therefore, you have to note down relevant things time to time. So these are the references. See, references, IFRS, LKS, SLFRS both are same. 13 paragraph 9. Then you have to go for that standard paragraph 9. It is there. In my lecture material, these things are completed. These are not blanks. Right? While I am doing the discussion, I will give you 2-3 minutes. No, these are very lengthy explanations and descriptions, maybe 2-3 lines. Giving you time, then you have to book, maybe printed copy. But today, that might not be printed. Anyway, take a screenshot at least. Take a screenshot of the lecture material that I have shared. So this is the slide share shared to you. If I open my one, right? If I open my one, see everything is included, right? Not the blanks. So these 2 lines you have to fill by your own, right? So likewise, this material that I am sharing based on the during the discussion will be a full presentation slide. So you have to refer these slides. Slide numbers are there. But take a piece of paper. You don't have any way of doing that. Take a piece of paper. If not, you can take a print out and tell me. Clear? So that is how we will be doing. So therefore, so these matters. These things matter when you are getting that 40. And you remember, I told you there are 40 marks rating is there. In getting these 40 marks, these things, following these instructions matters. Really matters. Right? Therefore, follow those things. Then I'm pretty much sure you will be getting that entire 40 marks. So then if you are sleeping and listening to this lecture, or since it is introduction, when you are going here and there, please organize yourself into one place and get ready for the discussion now. So meanwhile, if you have any clarifications, you can ask relevant to the evaluation and the settings and the session plan. Do you have any issues? So far? No. They are saying we don't have any issues. How about others? Yeah. You can say hi. Okay. If you don't have any issues, that's the time now 1:25. We're supposed to start at 12. Okay, let's have a small break. Small one. Huh? Since you are enjoying at your houses, there's no point of giving very big breaks. Now 10 minutes. 10 minutes is more than enough. Have a break, refresh yourself. While taking the break, if you have any issues relevant to these things, the setting of the course, we haven't discussed any lesson related things so far. So just we discuss about the setting of this lecture, how we are going to support you as lecturers, both of us, how you are going to support you in completing this course with great results. That's what I explained so far. Right? Okay. With that you can have a 10 minutes break and you can return by 1:35. You can return by 1:35. Right. Let's start. We'll be starting the session after the break. So I think so far you have by now you have a better understanding about the setting of this course unit and the way of doing lectures, this online lectures, and the evaluation criteria and the evaluations that you are having. Both continuous assessment and the end semester examination. Okay. So with that, we are now directly moving to the lesson content. So as I told you, from here onwards, you cannot just listen to the things what I am explaining. So you have to get ready. You have to be ready to engage to the lecture at any time that you are supposed to do so. So therefore, I am not going to ask questions and to point out the people and going to ask questions. What I do is, as I said to you earlier, time to time, I will be doing minor activities and then allow you to do those submissions to the created team and created team within a limited time. So therefore, get ready with everything and go for a proper place and engage actively. Okay. With that, let me share you the. Let me share you the first presentation slide share. I think you can see it now. Corporate reporting recap. The things you learn related to financial reporting. So then by looking at this course unit, so some students when they see that I will be there as a lecturer in this course unit, they have already contacted me and asked about what this subject is. Right? What is this subject? What kind of a subject is this? Is it hard, low, easy? So there are few inquiries. There are few inquiries in that way relevant to this course unit, which means it's better to address those issues by having this type of introduction discussion. So this is not examination focus. So therefore, I will not I will not consume here a big. Let's say I will not consume a huge amount of time on explaining this, but anyway, so this will be used as an introductory approach, introductory session to this subject to understand where you are, what you have learned so far, and what you are going to learn new in this course. So this is what the background information about the corporate reporting. But I'm again repeating, these things will not be tested in a semester examination. So you know what will be tested now. So this is kind of an introduction and approach, right? So then overview before starting the course unit. So, so considering the big picture, right? Big picture of this accounting. So you are going to maybe starting from A level, right? Now you are in the third year of degree program. So you have practiced different accounting treatments. So you have kind of a basic understanding about accounting, what accounting is. Right? Simple word is accounting rather than mentioning it as financial reporting. So let's keep it as accounting. So this is the basic simple word that majority of the students are aware. So this accounting start with economic activities and business transactions. So you are going to in considering the business. There are many activities taken place. Different transactions are there. So then what you are doing, what you have to do, you should have a reporting mechanism. You should have a reporting mechanism in the business to record all these transactions because you can't remember all these activities as a finance professional or as the owner, as a stakeholder of the business. You can't remember all these transactions or the values and everything. So therefore, there should be a mechanism that you need to record these transactions. right? So then you will be recognizing, measuring different transactions, right? Different transactions, and then you report it, right? Then you report it using source documents, right? So that is the flow of accounting. First of all, you identify the transaction, then the source documents provide proofs about the transaction. Based on those transactions, you are recording into the primary recording books. So based on the primary recording books, you are going to record it to the post it to the ledgers. Then based on the ledgers, uh, there are ledgers which are becoming primary recording books as well. So after based on those things, primary recording books, journals, you are going to record this into the journals, ledgers. Based on the journals, you are going to record it into the ledgers. In the ledger covers all these transactions were recorded by using double entry system, right? Using double entry system. So after preparing this, after recording these different transactions, after posting these different transactions to the ledger accounts, at a given time, at a pre-decided time period that we call accounting period, right? Accounting period may be 1 year most of the time. So within 1 year, you are going to summarize. You are going to summarize all these transactions you have recorded in the business. And as a result of those summarizing, right? Summarization. So then what you will do, you will prepare financial statements as final documents, right? So then you will be preparing the statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income, cash flow, notes, likewise, different accounting financial statements you will be preparing. So time to time, you have learned how to prepare financial statement for sole proprietorship. That is the beginning point. Then you learn how to prepare it for partnerships. So then thereafter you learn how to prepare it for private limited companies. Private limited companies because financial statements are not publicly available. When it comes to private limited company, they are not issuing shares, right? So then for the general public, therefore they don't. There is no regulated requirement to disclose those financial statements to the general public. So therefore, most of the time they are keeping those financial statements for their internal decision making. Okay? Internal decision making. So though you practice those, how you can practice, how you can make financial statements, prepare financial statements for those type of business organizations. What are business organizations? Sole proprietorships, partnerships, and private limited companies basically. Right. So there are other steps that we are trying to do, but I'm talking about the things that you learned so far, right? Okay. Then in preparing these financial statements, right, there are specific guidelines. Mainly there are two guidelines. One is what? What are the two main guidelines that provide all these instructions about this preparation of financial statements? Yes. One is accounting framework, right? One is accounting framework. The other one is accounting standard. So if any issue that cannot be addressed by accounting standards, standards, you have to refer the financial framework, right? Financial framework for such issues that cannot be addressed accounting standards. So therefore, basically, these framework and the accounting standards are providing guidelines in preparation of those financial statements. Already you have done this, right? Already you have done this relevant to sole proprietorship, partnership, and private limited company. So we think that I hope that you all are aware about these things in a certain level after becoming the third year of this course. Right? So then anyway, ultimate goal of this preparation of financial statement is to disclose or show a true and fair view about the business. Right? Fair view for the stakeholders and the decision makers. if it is a owner wants to know true and fair view about his business as financial statements as outcomes of the accounting process, as main outcomes of the accounting process. So these reports are going to be used by users, right? We call it stakeholders, internal, external stakeholders are there, they are going to use it. So that is basic, let's say it is the big picture of this financial reporting, right? So thereafter, so there are some key foundations that I mentioned here. When what are those key foundations? Recognition, measurement, reporting, financial statement are the final output. Accounting standard guide all reports, provide useful information to users. This is what the summary about the explanation we conducted. So in recognition, we are trying to identify the transactions and events, and we are going to record it, right? So before recording, we have to refer what are the values, what to record, what are the values we need to record. So by using different source documents, we can record whatever the things we want. So we have to find where these values are into. Mainly, we refer the source documents there. By referring to source documents, those are becoming proofs, proofs for practicing accounting. So then by referring to source documents, based on the source documents, you are going to identify the values. And then you have to, by using the double entry system, you will be posting these values into the ledger accounts. So it's basics. So then, at the end of the particular year, maybe financial, we call it financial year, maybe 12 months, 6 months, depending on the business. So then they will be preparing financial statements using accounting standards and the framework, accounting framework, as the main guideline in preparation those. Right? So this is the basic understanding. So then, considering the background of corporate reporting, so these 4 components are included. So you can see one is basic accounting concepts. Whatever the level we practice accounting, even though it is corporate, even though it is international level maybe, even though it is a sole proprietorship, even though it is a partnership, very small business, we cannot skip these accounting concepts. Right? You know, there are some fundamental accounting concepts like going concern, right? Business entity concept. Likewise, these concepts we cannot skip because these provide the base for accounting. So in corporate reporting also, we cannot, even though this is much complex level of accounting, we cannot skip these accounting concepts, right? So even though you already learned these things, we have to stick into these accounting concepts when we practicing accounting in this much complex level as. So then conceptual framework about accounting, it is about accounting framework. As I told you, there are mainly 2 guidelines. There are 2 main guidelines that provide guidance for the people who practice accounting. In businesses, what are those 2 guidelines? One is this conceptual framework. The other one is this accounting standards. Accounting standard. SLFRS, IFRS, and LGS. Right? These are the accounting standards. And the finance conceptual framework that provides guidelines for the people who are practicing accounting. So then, after that, with the support of all these activities, you are going to now report. Now we are going to practice advanced corporate reporting topics. Right? So far it's limited just to a small adjustment. The accounting you practice was just limited so far to a small adjustment. Galle But with the time being, since you are becoming more experienced professional, more experienced students in this area of discipline of accounting, so now you are stepping into a more advanced way of practicing accounting. That's what we call advanced corporate reporting topics. So these reporting transaction for consolidated accounts, addressing issues, accounting issues referring to accounting standards, analyzing financial statements. Those are the main final outcome, which is the most advanced and complex stage of accounting. So in another way, you can be happy about yourself. You have started this accounting journey in somewhere, identifying the double entry system, right? Assets credit likewise, assets debit, values, then dual entry system, simple transactions, how to prepare trial balances, how to balance trial balances, likewise, you have started somewhere there. Now you have almost came to the end of this journey. And that means in the learning journey. So you are trying to you have already stepping into an advanced level of practicing this accounting. Advanced treatments. If you are a accounting professional, maybe let's say assistant accountant in a business organization, your business organization is having an issue with recording a transaction. That is not just basic transaction. Do you think in your business organization there are only these simple transactions you practice so far is available? No. When it comes to practical situation, time to time, day by day, issues are rising. Different issues are rising. With these regulatory changes also say, right? When internal audit procedures also say, right? So aligning with these regulatory frameworks, right? Regulatory requirement, your reporting, the real on-site experience relevant to this accounting is getting more and more pervasive. So when you, I think most of you are working in audit firms, right? These people who are working in audit firms know what they are doing, right? So sometimes they are not aware what they are doing, right? They are doing what they were supposed to do, instructed by their superiors, right? So they don't have a kind of understanding because they are still in a state where they don't aware about this advanced accounting treatments. So now we are going to learn. Now we are going to learn. So after learning this course, you would be able to at least, I am telling the minimum requirement, at least when you face the issue, so you would be aware what accounting standard you have to reach. Let's keep aside that you don't know the exact treatment what it is. So when the issue is there, when you are facing an issue, at least you should know what standard should be referred in solving this issue. Because in any other way that you solve this issue, no one is going to be accepted. Right? There are different ways of solving problems. You can solve the issue by your own, isn't it? Since you are the accountant in the business, you can do it by your own way. So do you think that will be accepted by any others? Basically, the stakeholders as real owners, shareholders as the real owners of the business. No. They only will accept your actions that you have taken if your actions this guidelines provide. What are the guidelines? It is basically accounting standards. So that's what you are going to learn, students. Right? So then at least what is the minimum requirement when you face an issue, real issue in the business organization, at least you should know what accounting standard you have to refer in addressing issue. At least you can go and find this book. That's why I told you to refer this book all the time. If it is fair value related issues, you know there is a standard called fair value. You go to the fair value standard in the standard book, you refer and try to find the answers. Right? So that is what the expectation. That is what the expectation. So that is what we are going to do in this course. So then, as I told you, even though accounting is becoming this much complex and advanced, we cannot entirely forget these accounting concepts. These are the basic accounting concepts that I am not going to explain one by one. I will just read. These are the basic accounting concepts. Business entity concept, which means the business is separate from its owners, right? And going concern concepts, accrual basis concept. So in going concern concept, that assumes businesses will be existing, will be operating for a foreseeable future, right? Foreseeable time, right? නාගත කාලයක් පුරාවට business එක පවතී කියලා හිතලා තමයි we are practicing account. So accrual basis concept and consistency, all these concepts are key concepts. Whatever the level we are going to learn, accounting, you cannot forget these key concepts. Right. So this is about little information about conceptual framework. So these conceptual frameworks provide the foundation for financial reporting, setting the objectives of financial reporting. So, explain what are the elements of financial statements. As financial statements, what you need to prepare. So this accounting, this conceptual framework provide what are those? You can prepare whatever the things you want to. Right? There are a set of financial statements that you have to go and prepare. Who is saying that? No one is saying. Conceptual framework is saying. Right? So then acts as guidance when no specific standard. I told these previous use. If you might practical work in practical way, you might be getting issues that cannot be addressed by any accounting standard. That can be addressed by any accounting standard because the way of doing transactions are quite different, right? We can't see these transactions will be happening in the same way. Maybe transaction right? Sometimes intentionally people change these transactions. And based on the situation to situation, these transactions are changing. So sometimes it's possible. It's possible transactions that cannot be addressed by accounting standards. So in that way, in such time, you can refer this conceptual framework and apply the guidelines provided in conceptual framework to address these issues. And then recognition and measurement principle and everything is there. And also qualitative characteristics. You all aware these qualitative characteristics are there, fundamental characteristics and enhancing characteristics. Fundamental characteristics like faithful representation and enhancing characteristics also there are qualitative aspects that financial statements are trying to achieve. Right? When it comes to the fundamental characteristics, one is relevance. Relevance means in single other relevance and the faithful representation is becoming the fundamental qualitative characteristics of financial statement, and enhancing characteristics are there, timeliness, right? Consistency, right? Those are becoming enhancing characteristics, right? So these things already you have. Right. So then financial reporting in corporate entities. Considering the corporate entities, so we can include all these things under corporate entities. Because all of them are doing business. Now the first one, public limited companies, PLCs, which are listed in Colombo Stock Exchange. Okay? Private limited companies, not quoted, not listed. Corporations, companies limited by shares, another form of business. Then state-owned enterprises. So these are the main businesses, main entities that we are going to consider as entities which are separate from these stakeholders under business entity concept that we are trying to practice accounting. Among these different entities, I want to tell you under corporate reporting, we are mainly going to consider financial reporting for this public limited companies. PLCs. Accounting for PLCs. PLCs, why it is important? Why PLCs are important? These are the entities that has many regulatory requirements. Why regulatory requirements are there? Because they are collecting their equity, their funds to carry out the business from the general public by issuing shares. So they are collectively responsible for the stakeholders. Real owners of this business is not a one or two single person. So real owners of this business are shareholders, which means general public buy their shares. Right? General public who buy their shares. Right? From those shares, they are getting the funds to operate. So therefore, they are responsible for the shareholders to disclose everything, especially the management of the businesses, 100% responsible to disclose what they are doing with their money. What they are doing with their money collected by the general public by issuing shares. So therefore, this is becoming very important and very advanced way of conducting business. Advanced way of conducting business. So when you are learning audit, the subject like audits, this might be explained in detail, referring to the agency problem. So most of the times, managers are trying to achieve their personal objective. Okay? Having a high salary, right? Maybe any other personal benefits relevant to remuneration, relevant to their remuneration, right? So, but what stakeholders, they want to grow their wealth basically, right? By doing what? By increasing their EPS, earnings per share, right? Share values. By increasing the share values, they wanted to advance their investments, right? You bought the share from the share market for with the support of a broker, you bought it for 150 rupees. By 10 years, right? It's a long-term investment. You already know that. So after, let's say 5 years, after 5 years, the value of the share is 130. So what has happened to your wealth? Whether it is increased or decreased. But what has happened to your wealth? Wealth has decreased. That is not the expectation. So you have appointed a set of people for that task. Those set of people you call management. So manager's responsibility is to increase that wealth. 150 or more than that. They have the responsibility to increase this value. So this is we call growing the wealth. Right? That is the real expectation of the stakeholders, not to spend their money from anyone's personal use. So anyone's personal benefits. Basically, the management with personal benefits. At a particular with high remuneration, cover funds they know they will. They should, the real owner should have the benefit of investing. So this is the responsibility of this management. So then, when disclosing this, the way of disclosing this matters in that point, right? So because do you think the shareholders are visiting the businesses day by day? Can they go to the businesses and tell, we have shares in here, in this business, I want to see what is going on this business. I want to audit some financial, let's say some ledgers or any other documents I want to refer. Are they allowing you to do so? No, probably not. It's not. In fact, it's not practical. You can't go and buying some shares of John Keys, JK. Can you go to the JK group and take the accounts? That is not practical. What is the way you can evaluate their performance? What is the way you can evaluate performance? That is how you can evaluate performance by referring to their publicly available financial statements, by looking at their comprehensive income statement, by looking at their statement of financial position, by looking at their cash flow statement, and by looking at their changes to the equity. So they are publishing it generally for the general public within the 6 month of period after the reporting period. So then you have to go and refer those. You have to go and refer those. What you are trying to do in this course unit is you are trying to prepare those statements. Right? So the statements that you prepare will be referred by the general public for their decision making. See how much this is responsible, how responsible work this is. Right? So because In this corporate reporting, what you are trying to do, you are trying to generate those reports, those financial statements by the general public. Right? You are trying to generate report preferred by the general public. So, ඔයාලා report එක බලලා තමයි කවුරු තීරණය කරන්නේ. shareholdersලා තීරණය කරන්නේ. මේ company එකේ invest කරනවද නැද්ද? මම shareholder invest කරපු money වලට මොකද වුනේ? assets වල තත්ත්වය මොකක්ද? solvency එක කොහොමද? What is the performance? What is the profitability? Is it favorable or unfavorable? Everything going to be evaluated by using the outcomes of this corporate. So that's what the corporate reporting is. This is a serious work. This is serious work. If you are practicing a wrong thing in financial statements, so that will be going to impact. That will be going to impact not only for the business but also all the stakeholders in the business. So recently you might heard me. So a case relevant to what bank? You might heard NDB. Huge amount, huge kind of a mistake is taken place in the business. Then now investors, think about the investors. They have invested millions of money on that business, right? Some set of people inside the business have stolen it. See the feeling. So then while reporting, you have not encountered this. Maybe when you are reporting, you have hinted it, and you have not reported it accurately. So whose responsibility is to report it? As finance professionals, as future finance professionals, chartered accountants, CEOs, it's your responsibility to report them in the relevant reports, relevant financials. So that's what you are going to do. That's what you are going to do under corporate reporting. You are going to prepare financial statements for public limited company. Finally, that financial statement will be published to the general public. Anyone in this world can come and refer those statements, and they can make the decision. Right? So that one is serious. That is what the corporate reporting is. Right. So why accounting for PLCs is complex, as I told you. Right? Compared to the other reporting, other ways of accounting, The accounting you practice in other organizations, maybe sole property. In small business, you do some accounting and find what is the profitability. Right? What are the assets available? And what are the liabilities available? Can we pay out these liabilities? Likewise, you can do a simple analysis. Small shop, taking a small shop. But are you going to publish it to the general public? No. If there is an issue, statement happen, the owner has to bear it. Right? Nothing to worry about the other thing. But if the financial financial statements are to be wrong in the public companies, it's a public matter that impacting entire economy. Right? So see the incidents taken place in different businesses, right? Not only one part, right? Not only the people who are practicing accounting in those businesses. All the relevant parties are getting affected. Basically, the auditor. Why the auditor didn't found this type of issue when they auditing financial statements? Right? What has happened? It's auditor's responsibility also, both internal and external. They are having internal audit as well as external audit. Right? So therefore, these things become a very serious matter. Right? So therefore, accuracy of these things are very much important. Right? Okay. So then why accounting for PLC is complex? So I will be providing you different reasons. One reason is regulatory requirements. These are the regulatory requirements. Number one, compliance with SLFRS and IFRS. As I said you, the accounting you practice should be aligned with the accounting standards. You can't do whatever things you want. Right? You can't do whatever the treatments, accounting treatments you want. that will not be accepted by him. And there will be legal actions against you. Not only that, right? Remember that if you practice it, you will be considered as a person who is stealing money, right? Misusing the assets of the business, right? Your accounting treatment should be completely aligned with SLFRS and IFRS. So then stock exchange regulations, extensive disclosure requirements. Now you can consider this exclusive disclosure requirements. As CA Sri Lanka, this year you can remember, 2 standards have been made mandatory for first 10 companies in the listed in the main board, right? What are those new standards? Disclosures for sustainability, S1 and S2. See, from this year onwards, everyone, right? Every business who is listed in main board need to disclose their sustainable practices in their financial statements. Can anyone skip that? No. They have made it compulsory. Extensively, you have to report those because they can avoid reporting those things in that type of a situation. In such situation, no one will be going to rely on your information you are providing. Right? No one will be believing whatever the things that is recorded because you have not followed the provided guidelines. Right? Regulatory requirements you have not followed. So that is finally, these companies also will be collapsing. Right? Because no one is going to invest on those companies because they have not followed these mandatory requirements. That is what happened. So mandatory external audits also there. As I said you, they have to conduct audit within 6 weeks of accounting period that they have. 6 months, right? 6 months. And regulatory requirements are there. Then accounting standards. These are detailed rules and guidelines for reporting. SLFRS, Sri Lanka Financial Reporting Standard. IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard. You might be thinking, is there any differences between IFRS and SLFRS? No, there is no difference. Right? What they do. These are the main thing. IFRS is the main thing. International Financial Reporting Standards. So we are going to, as Sri Lanka, we are going to take this IFRS and then we name it as SLFRS and we are going to publish it as accounting practices, generally accepted accounting standards for Sri Lankan countries. IFRS issue karna international, IFRS, international level, in the international level, IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards will be issued. So then we take it, so then we convert it into SLFRS and publish. So IFRS 13 and SLFRS 13 nothing. IFRS is international level data. SLFRS 13, there is no difference. Right? So otherwise you might be wonder in the standard book it is saying SLFRS, in my reference it is IFRS. So both are same. There is no any changes. We can't do any changes. As Sri Lanka, can we do the changes to international accounting standards? So what we have to do is we have to follow. So we have to adjust our businesses and conduct those. Right. So then standard specific treatment, revenue, ensure like there are standard specific treatment as well as there are standards which are having links with all the other standards. Example is SLFRS 13, fair value measure. So different standards. When it comes to LKS 16, they have given measure fair value. Right? When identifying the fair values as assets. Right? When it comes to SLFRS 2, business combination. Also again, when we are trying to measure the fair value in a business acquisition. Right? When subsidiary was acquired, we are going to measure the fair value of that business and we are trying to find the goodwill. right? So then likewise, there are connected standards as well as standard specific things like lease, right? Standards that cover lease only address issues relevant to leases. Those are specific standards. And also there are some general purpose standards as well. Those are linked, those standards are having linked with all the other standards as well. Right. For the issuers, the consistency and comparability of the financial statement, which are enhancing qualitative characteristics of financial statement. So then another issue why these public limited companies are complex, right? Why it is hard to practice accounting in public limited companies. There are four shareholders. There are large stakeholder base. There is a large stakeholder base for the public limited companies because there are shareholders and investors, regulators and analysts, lenders and public users, and always they look for transparency and reliability. It is very important. Reliability. If the financial statements are not reliable, right? Not reliable, no one will be taking decision based on those. Because you can't rely. Right? The reliability is a very important thing. How the reliability comes? Your financial statements will be reliable only where you compliance, you are reporting with accounting standard and conceptual framework. Right? Standard framework your financial statement becoming reliable. So you are going to do that for public limited companies under corporate. So scale of operations also magnitude. Multiple business segments are there. High transaction volume is there. And it's a complex business model. And international operation also sometimes they can fix. International operations in our TLC. So if you take gauge, don't give only, there are a lot of international operations taken. Maybe they are having different subsidiaries in other countries. Maybe they are having huge amount of transactions, right? In the international community, right? So basically, see the businesses they are engaged. So they are the dealer of these electric SUVs in Sri Lanka for BYD. So then they are dealing with the other countries. All these things you have to record under Sri Lankan accounting standard framework. The Sri Lankan accounting framework, right? With the use of standards and the framework. Then different group structures are there, right? Subsidiaries, associates, joint ventures, then consolidation of financial statements. At the end of the year, you have to consolidate all these and publish it. You can't publish it as it is. If you consider JK Holdings, their financial statement represent all the companies, all the subsidiaries. See how many subsidiaries are there in JK Holdings. All these subsidiaries will be presented in one financial statement that we call consolidated financial statement. The consolidated statement of financial position represent the financial position of all the companies. All the companies under JKH group. See how much it is complicated. To what extent it is complicated. Then intergroup eliminations when there are intergroup transactions, right? So they have to eliminate these things you will be learning. Therefore, due to these issues, these public limited companies, corporate reporting in public limited companies are more and more complicated. So see here, I told you goodwill and NCI calculation. When calculating this NCI, this fair value calculation is very important. Very important. So different judgments are there. When you practicing accounting in public limited companies, different judgments are there. One is fair value estimation. This is basically estimation based on active market. You have to see the active market data, then you have to come to a conclusion based on accountant's judgments. So impairment testing, provisions and contingencies, accounting estimates and assumptions. These are the things, different judgments you are having. Don't get afraid by reading these things. You will be learning these things step by step, referring to standards. There is a standard relevant to fair value. There is a standard relevant to provision and condition. There is a standard relevant to estimate and assumptions, right? So impairment testing that will be related to the PB standard, right? So then accordingly you will be learning LJ 60. So then during those lessons you will be learning this. Don't get afraid at the beginning. So then advanced financial instrument, there is a separate standard for these, like derivatives, hedgings, complex financial structures, risk management instruments, and likewise. These are the things, mainly, these are the main reasons. I'm not going to explain one by one again. So basically, right, summarizing all this, why accounting for PLCs is complex? One reason is regulatory requirement, and the other one is SLFRS, IFRS standard comply with these standards under regulatory standards. Then the second reason is large stakeholder base. Third reason is scale of operation is high. Fourth reason is different group structures are available. Fifth reason is use of judgments are included. And finally, there are advanced financial instruments to be recorded. Therefore, corporate reporting is much complex work that we are going to do. And also there are extensive reporting included. Right. So so what you are going to do by understanding this complex level, understanding this complexity level, what we are going to do is these advanced corporate reporting topics that we are going to discuss in this course, and practically we are going to practice this. One is application of knowledge in complex scenarios. When you are working as an accountant in a business, you face a complex scenario that anyone didn't know how to do the accounting treatment. As accountant, right? As accountant of the business, or maybe CFO of the business, you should be aware how these accounting treatments can be practiced relevant to this complex scenario. Then group accounts and consolidation, how to prepare group accounts, how to consolidate financial statements, you will be aware. So then about the financial instruments, you will be getting the knowledge. Then fair value measurements, integrated and sustainability reporting, which is very let's say, very emerging topic, right? Very important topic in the current context globally as well as locally as well as globally. Sustainability is becoming emerging. All the countries in the global concepts are trying to make this sustainability reporting more effective in their financial reports. This we call the non-financial information. And financial sustainability reporting is non-financial. Right? Disclosures. Right? Becoming important. Then finally, interpretation of real world. These are the things that you are going to do. These are the things that you are going to do under corporate reporting. Right? This application of knowledge in complex scenarios covers all the standards. Right? When you addressing complex scenarios, what you have to refer? The standard document you have to refer when you address. Right. Finally, at the end of this course unit, you will be able to understand the framework behind the corporate reporting and apply IFRS, SLFRS standards correctly to case specific issues of the corporate entities. This is what will be tested in the examination as well as I told you earlier. This specific issues within case specific issues. The case specific issue will be given to you. You will be given the description, then you have to apply the standard. That's what the learning now. Second one, analyze complex corporate reporting issues. And again, there may be errors in recording these transcripts. Complex issues, errors that they have, then you will be able to correct by using the standard. This is not the way. This is not accepted because these are not complying with financial standard, accounting standards, and the conceptual framework. So you have to do this. This is the correct way. You have to take. Then prepare and interpret financial statement using analytical. These are the right. So I have at another slide. Actually, these things I I think to some extent I have explained you. This is not from the result, this is about your completion also. The encountered difficulties faced by undergraduates in completing the course, maybe. With the years of experience of attending different examination boards, result boards, like examinations, invigilations and supervision. So we have experienced these issues, right? Relevant to this particular course, right? Compared with the other course. So when this is continuously happening for entire, let's say, it's 4 or 5 years, throughout 4 or 5 years, these issues are happening. This is why we are trying to apply different way of conducting this lecture. Sometimes applied lecture, sometimes giving more flexibility in doing giving the chance to giving more chance for you to do this assessment in a flexible manner. That's what our that's why we are trying to provide these facilities, make you comfortable as a result of finding these issues. Mainly 3 issues. One is the students are getting confused by the complex of the course content. So if you didn't manage the time very well, right, within these 15 weeks, at the end of the year, and at the end of the year, 15 weeks, you have this much of big books to start, right? As 1 to 17 standards are there. So then you have 10, right? You have 10 standards. So you have, and if you are not managing your time very well, not only standard, consolidation field, ratios field. So think about the content, right? Most of the students coming and containing, there is a huge content to be studied with the time, with the other work responsibilities they are having. Most of the people are working, so then it's very hard to manage. So that is one main issue that students are facing. We are here to help, right? We are here to help you. That's why there are 2 lecturers we appointed, because since as internal lecturers we are available in September throughout the weekdays and weekends during the work hours. Since we are having staying there, right? Anytime you can come and ask about any issues that you have. That is one concern, to include an internal lecturer for this course, right? So if you are having any issues, you can directly come and meet us, because internal lecturers are available in September during work days. Okay? That is one main thing. Accordingly, very quickly we can address those issues. Then we can help you. Make you more comfortable completing this course. The second one is low completion rate with lower pass rate. So it is applicable not only for this subject, most of the complex subject this issue is arising because students are trying to skip the things and trying to study some selected areas. So then they are not successful during the examination, so therefore unfortunately they are not able to pass the examination. Therefore, low completion rate and low pass rate is there for this type of complex subject. It's obvious matter, not specifically for this subject, but this seriously relevant for this course. Right? Therefore, remember that 40 marks and getting that 40 marks and pass this. Final one is low participation for examination. Right? Another issue. This is severely taken place for this course series. Right? We have noticed that most of the time students are learning for 15 weeks, right? Studying these things, listening to the discussions, preparing the standard book and doing everything, practicing past paper. But at the end of the 15 weeks, they are not attending the exam. That means you are missing your batch. And missing your batch. That's a very bad that's a very huge disadvantage for you. The best time for you to attend the examination is doing the examination with your batch. Because everyone in your batch have the notes and every support you can take from the batch. Because maybe sometimes the lecturers also may be changed. The way they are doing the explanations also, even though the context is same, the things concepts are same, the ways the things that is tested may be changed. Okay? So the best time, the best attempt for you to take a particular examination is taking with the relevant batch. Right? Postponing this will continue until 4th years. I can remember considering final year, last year convocation, right? Last year convocation, there were around, I think, 100 students, right? Like a one batch of students, those who have not completed this subject, right? They are waiting for us to give another examination to do it and pass it, right? As a another examination, right? So that is the seriousness of this, right? So they have around 2 years or 1 year to complete this, but as a result of postponing the postponing attention to the examination with their own batch, right? They have done a huge mistake because after that they are having different issues, internship, research, and everything comes. They don't have time to get ready, right? Therefore, remember, have a aim at the very first day. At the very first day, to complete this examination with your own batch. With your own batch. So we are here to help you. I am here to basically help you in that. Any issues you can come and you can contact me, you can tell me. We will be helping you. Myself and the other lecturer, we will be helping you at our maximum level to be successful in this course. Otherwise, you also will be in that batch because after maybe some people, majority of the people will be finishing this degree program in near future, right? So I don't want anyone from this batch to be wait until that last moment, making examinations and waiting for. I think that's what it's wrong. Good, but that's what the students are doing, right? They are coming and telling different issues, the issues and everything. They are not able to complete this course. Therefore, this is very critical. Therefore, at the very first stage, have objective to do this work very well and complete and get my support that I allocated, assigned to do so on behalf of September. Get the expected support from me, right? Communicate any issues to me. I will help you complete this process. So it's time to find the best solutions. So solutions they will be given throughout the 50 things. I can go to right. So that is the content. I think we discussed today. Took little time. That is not an issue because this is my duty. And this is my duty that is assigned by the management to make you aware these things very, make you aware about these content and everything very clear, right? Make you very clear about these things. Otherwise, there is no point explaining these things in the middle of the session. In the middle of the session. Therefore, I think it is clear for you. And I would like to open the discussion for the students. If you have any issues, you can ask relevant to your studies. But don't get stress yourself, right? Don't confuse yourself and don't be afraid, right? If you have already afraid, being afraid is not a solution. And we are trying to find the best solutions. Being afraid and trying to avoid these subjects is not the solution. Right? That's why the people are not attending it, avoiding it. That's not a solution. That's not a solution. Facing the challenges is the solution. But you should know how to face those challenges very well, how to overcome those challenges. So we are here to support you with that. Yes, any issues? Are you all clear what I explained today? Can you unmute yourself and tell me, few students? Is it clear? Is it everything clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What's your name?
Hassan.
How they escape it? Hassan. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask questions now, right? Just tell your concerns. Otherwise, you will be getting afraid it's a combined lecture, this has changed, what is going to happen. There are sessions uploaded, assessments uploaded, right? All the instructions were given. By basically looking at this LMS page, you might be afraid. Only Hassan understood what I discussed today. How about others? How about weekday students? 18 weekday students also there, I think, right? Am I
All
correct?
clear, sir. Yes, yeah, here.
Yeah. What's your name? Vishal.
Cylinder, sir.
Dilena, okay. Weekday students also there, yes, right. And also some exemption students also there, 18C exemption when I didn't win them before. Hope it's clear for everyone. Right, okay. Then we have only 20 minutes left. So I will provide you some instructions for the next session. Right? So it's better, right, when you are visiting the class next week, maybe next week or any other week that we have, any other weeks means the following weeks that we are having the discussion. So take the printout. Better to take a printout of the lecture material. Right? So there are two lecture materials relevant to the SLFRS 13. Right? That is one is the presentation file share that has some blanks to be filled by the student. Right? If you have a physical document with you, it's very easy for you to write down those issues and those things and complete your lecture material. Right? So if you can do it in a soft copy format, that's not an issue. But I recommend you to take a printout. That will be very easy because we can't rely on technology 100%. The second one is there is a case study document that I have uploaded. Right? So time to time, so just to show you, right? Relevant to each concepts, I will be referring to a case study. Right? When explaining about this orderly transaction, when I am explaining orderly transaction, there are 3 case studies included in your case study material. So then after explaining what orderly transaction is, I will be referring to the case study. So when I will be discussing the case study with you, then after discussing case study only you will get understood what the ordinary transaction. Otherwise, it's just a definition included in a standard book, right? You can't understand, right? Understanding that's why I included these case studies. To each complex concept, I have designed a case study and included in the case study document. At the time I am explaining these transactions and orderly transaction and all the concepts, I will be referring to those case studies. Then with the support of case studies, you will be getting more understanding about the concepts. So therefore, better to have that one also printed, right, as a document. So then as soon as I tell you to refer, then you can take that note and refer and write the answers, highlight, underline, do everything in that material. Very easy. Right? So I recommend you to take the print out of that also, right? Second one also same. Like if you are able to buy this book, right? Buy this standard book, accounting standard book. Also, you can by next week when you are coming, you can check whether these things are really included, right? Just have it's a nice experience that you can find the standard and you can find these definitions are really available or no. So you can go for the SLFRS 13 standard paragraph 9. So then you go for that one and see in the paragraph 9 what is mentioned. Just read and come. Just read and come. Right? Try to do it. But I'm not forcing you, but I'm telling you to buy this book. Because you are trying to become accounting professionals in future. Right? At least if you have never referred. That if you have never referred accounting standard book during your degree program, so that will not become accounting degree. Standard book reading. Basic book reading. You should have this book on your table. If you are accounting professional. Therefore, soft copy or hard copy, you can take it. That's a better way of preparing yourself for your future. Right? And also for this course. So then I will explain this SLFRS 15. Next week I will not start it now because we are having only 15 minutes. I think it's not enough. I took some time to explain you about the factor and basics. So I think that will be beneficial, valuable for you. Completing this course successful. Okay. If you have no any other clarifications, we can wind up the session for the day. Hope everything is clear for you. But don't worry, time to time I will be coming. Right? Maybe after the next week also, time to time I will be coming and telling these things, repeating these things, and revising what I am trying to do. And my role here, joining as a joining this combined lecturing session, I'll be explaining my objective. I'm trying to continuously trying to achieve that objective, ensuring that everyone will be getting past this. Right? Okay. With that, we can wind up. Thank you for participation.
The attendance.
Let me share you the attendance. Okay, you can, I think, the QR code is visible, you can mark that.
QR code.
Can you mark? Oh, QR code is what?
Sir, you should have to share the screen. We didn't see.
You didn't see. Oh,
Yes.
wait. Oh, sorry about that. I have fixed the screen share. Can you see it now, Lanka? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, you can mark your attendance now. The screen, the QR code is shared to the screen. Okay, with that we will line up the session. I hopefully will meet you physically. Upcoming session.
Hello,
The
sir.
discussion SLFR study.
Hello.
Yes.
Goody.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I cannot scan
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
I
Ariya,
cannot scan the.
Kalavan.
I cannot scan this QR, sir. Can
Okay.
you keep the screen more
It's-
time? It's not
It's
working actually,
available.
sir. Yeah, it's not working, sir. It's not capturing.
Capturing. Capturing means you can't mark that in. You can't mark that in.
Yeah, yes, sir. I think it's timeout or
I know it's. You can mark it until 3.
So, I can also mark my attendance.
Mark. Wait. There is a countdown going in. 88, 87 likewise. Then after
No,
this
sir,
countdown,
we can mark the attendance, sir.
that's all. Yeah. There are some issues with this. I think the matter is with the countdown. You can see this countdown 70 seconds, 69 likewise. So when it ends, it is starting again. Then again scan. Those who mark can leave, right? However, they can come. We'll meet physically. Those who mark can leave. I will keep this for others to mark. Don't worry.
then you will share another one again.
No, wait, Uta, wait. Then this countdown ends. This, can you see this 34 seconds? 33
Yes,
seconds
yes.
is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Wait until it becomes 0. Right? Then it will be started from the beginning. Then this QR code will be changed. Then you scan.
Okay, sir.
Right. Now scan. Those who didn't scan it, please try it now. How about now? Is it okay?
Hello, sir. It's not also. It's not working.
Okay, then those who didn't mark, come and meet me next week. Right? I will mark. What's your number? Tell me your registration number.
Hello,
What's your
sir.
registration number? Yes.
18C EX018. So my login is now waiting to go inside the log LMS page. Just wait for I'm waiting for a moment until it's login inside because it's showing the your session is timeout.
Ah. Okay. Don't worry. Don't panic yourself. Just if you can't mark your attendance, you come and meet me and tell, right? That's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much,
I'll
sir.
mark
Have
it.
sir. Have a nice day. Bye.
Sir,
Yes. Any others?
hello, sir. So myself
Yes.
also I couldn't attend now.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sir.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I couldn't mark the attendance. My side also come in error.
Okay. For everyone who didn't uh, mark the attendance, come and meet me next week.
Okay.
It means during the lectures, come and tell me, then I will mark, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm also having troubles with marking my attendance. I'm
Okay.
Anne Fernandez, sir.
Okay. You also come and meet me next week,
Okay, sir.
right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Have any other? Okay. Then I will end the meeting. Those who didn't mark the attendance, come and meet me next week. I will mark your attendance.